All right. So, yeah, I do recommend the Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs, all of that stuff. The Departed is Martin Scorsese's probably one of his best films. He won Best Picture for this, although it's not better than Taxi Driver. Pretty good. Gangs in New York, surprisingly a knockout. 10 Academy Awards, Martin Scorsese. Leo, it's got Cameron Diaz, and don't forget about Daniel Day-Lewis. His performance is amazing. Goodfellas is great. Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, he passed away, rest in peace. And also Joe Pesci, very good performance of Goodfellas. This is a good one to watch during the holidays for some reason. Taxi Driver, my favorite film. That's all I have to say. Bernard Herrmann, masterpiece on the score. Martin Scorsese's all-time best film right here. And it's also De Niro's best performance. All right. This one's actually really good. Martin Scorsese's Who's That Knocking at My Door? It's a combination of a few films that he threw together. Bringing the dancing girls and all that stuff. It all came to Who's That Knocking at My Door. All right, so we went through those. Now we're going to get into war. War section. And I've played this game. It's a Splinter Cell game. Sam Fisher, they did make a movie about Sam Fisher. Now, this is just, I put that up there because it's part of the war game. And also this So-Called Life talks about a World War II veteran. It's a Sam Shepard play. It's got Woody Harrelson, Nick Nolte, Sean Penn's in it. Sam Shepard directed it. Shelley Tusi, James Gammon, and Marin is pretty good in it. Don't talk about Fight Club. Now, this is Faith of the Fathers. I went out and got it because it's a war film. I like it. It's Scott Glenn. It has to do with John McCain. It's pretty good. American Warrior, never watched it. I'm sure it's good. Combat, never watched any of these. I'm sure these are all great. These are all war films. I went through a series in my life where I wanted to get every war film. American Sniper, very good. United 93, very good film. Hurt Locker, great. Catherine Bigelow. Now, the one that I just watched it the other day. Zero Dark. It's on Blu-ray. I watched it a few times. Wonder if I left that. I would keep it right next to it. It's a Blu-ray, yeah. Zero Dark is in one of my Blu-rays section right here. That's also Catherine Bigelow. It's a great film. I got a few Scorsese Blu-rays too. Haven't seen only some of Hornet's Nest. It's pretty good. I need to get Lone Survivor too. That's a Mark Wahlberg one. Stallone, Rambo, very good. Apocalypse Now, I put in a war section. All-time great, top 3 war films of all time. Francis Ford Coppola's masterpiece. Very good. Platoon, oh, I love it. Platoon soundtrack is great. Adagio for strings. There's Willem Dafoe. It's a triumph performance of Willem. Also Charlie Sheen. Deer Hunter, yeah, great soundtrack. Robert De Niro, wonderful. This guy right here, Christopher Walken, and is it Deborah? No, it's Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep, wonderful, wonderful. Full Metal Jacket, this is my favorite war film. Stanley Kubrick's film about Vietnam. That guy's passed away. He was the real military sergeant. He was a United States Marine Corps sergeant that really was in the film. Matthew Modine's in it. Vincent D'Onofrio's in it. It's just a great film. Dunkirk is Christopher Nolan's masterpiece about World War II. Letters from... I went to see that. I saw this with Sarah Lopiccolo's father. What is his name? Lupe, also known as Ciro. Ciro Lopiccolo. And he took us to see this in the movie theater, Letters from Iwo Jima, or something similar to this. It was like 2 versions of this. Clint Eastwood's. I think it was this one. We went to the movies and saw this. It's pretty good. He's a big war film guy, too. Saving Private Ryan is my second favorite war film. Sometimes it makes my first favorite. It's my favorite World War II one, for sure. It's 5 Academy Awards. It should have won Best Picture that year. Tom Hanks' best performance. Matt Damon's in it. This is where I found about Jeremy Davies. It's a very good film. It's a Saving Private Ryan film. Very, very, very good. This is the one right here for for war lovers, if you like war films. Downfall is about the downfall of Hitler. Very good film. A YouTuber made fun of this film, though. He did like a monologue to it one time. Das Boot. Oh, man, Das Boot. I love it. Das Boot is an example of a masterpiece. It's a German film about the U-boats going out to sea and getting lost and almost dying. They come back to be destroyed by B-52s and on whole Germany being bombed out. But they go out there for a reconnaissance mission and almost die. It's very good. The great raid. Yeah, I need to see this one again. And Gladiator war film too. Very good one with Russell Crowe. Very good film. And also it's masterpiece as a landscape. It's a landscape masterpiece. These are all my cassette tapes. I did Midsummer Night's Dream. I did Streetcar Named Desire. This is my performance of Streetcar Named Desire. Several performances in this. I have some. I need to get a really good VCR. I have Blue on VCR. Blue right here. And Sandy Meisner, if you like acting with Sandy Meisner, he's an acting teacher. I've got some of his stuff on this cassette tape here. It's basically just a documentary about Sandy Meisner. I used to have his book, but now I have his VHS thing. Benicio del Toro and me, yeah. That's at the Actor Studio when I was hanging out with Benicio del Toro. There's Streetcar, I did Streetcar. I'm just trying to see what these are. VHS. Lone Star performance. Yeah, I played Ray in a place called Sage and Silo Theater that's closed down. It was a gay theater run by my drama teacher. My friend Rob directed it. Let's see what this one is. Streetcar, another performance of Streetcar right here. I did it at Texas Wesleyan. Here's a performance in Denton when I was dating Rhiannon Bates. A Midsummer Night's Dream. It was done in 1999. Ooh, there's the date. February of 1999. I really appreciate that they did that for me. They put that date on there. Very smart. When you do these videos, put a date. Put a bird on it and a date. There's I'm telling you, this performance of mine, Jack Lemmon style performance right here of Love. Me and a guy named Charles Statham. We did a wonderful, and Wendy Westerson, yeah, a wonderful performance of Love. This is worthy to be turned into a DVD and watched. It's a great little performance. I think it's only Act 1, though. It might be Act 2, too. I don't know. I'm not sure. This one's great. This is the full one of Orphans. I played Treat. I wish I could turn this into a DVD. Maybe even sell it. I could probably do this kind of stuff. Even around here, I could probably turn these into DVDs and sell. They're my own performances. This right here is Sam Beckett's stage on screen. I need to watch this. I need to get a VCR. Act Without Words. It's a film class thing. I need a VCR to watch some of this stuff because it's important. I'm in a lot of this on this VHS. Stalking Himself with Sam Shepard is a documentary. It's very, very good. You got to watch it. See if I can get it clear so it's not glaring. It's a Sam Shepard documentary. I'm in this right here. I'm thrown on stage and I hug Morrissey in front of many, many people. I'm not in this one. This one was done in Europe, in Manchester. This is Homeless. And here it is. Public domain. I'm not in this, but I wanted to be a skateboarder until I broke my ankle. You can see where I broke my ankle. Public domain. It's Powell Peralta's masterpiece. I think it's a masterpiece. It's VHS. This is Look Homeward, Angel. I'm in it. I played Ben Gant. 1991. Wow. I didn't know it was that. I didn't know it was that crazy. Got the skateboarding one and Skate 3. There's Backpage. This is an indie film I did with Hugh Richard Massey. What's his Hugh Richard Massey? Oh no. He goes by Hugh Richard Massey. Hugh Richard Massey the third directed it, and it was produced by Angela Gant. It's a playwright in New York City. These are all of my performances that I put on. It's really dusty. Some of this right here, really dusty. I put all these performances on DVD. There's like several different performances and just documentary style. This is Rob and I are doing Man 1, Man 2 right here. It's a play we did. And I just started making these little DVDs. Waiting for Godot It's mostly Waiting for Godot on DVD. Road Trip of 2000 going out to Los Angeles. And, of course, my wedding video of the mother of my children. That was made by a professional group. Well, they were semi-professional, but they gave us the video for free. Comedies. Okay, we're gonna switch over here. Entourage is, I like it. It's kind of scary to me. The old Entourage showing LA. Wahlberg was behind that. Year of the Dog is a good one. Molly Shannon. Stardust Memories. I love Woody Allen. He's a comedian. He's also a great writer. He's the modern day Euripides. We've got Shadows and Fog. Great one to watch if you're a performer. John Malkovich, Madonna's in it. Ethan and Coen, Raising Arizona is my favorite comedy. Everybody knows, if they know me. My name's mentioned in this. There's a character named Spivey. They say, we heard it on the inside from Spivey. Some character named Spivey's. They just talk about him. Office Space. Great little film. Linda and I did some filming locations of this right here. And then, of course, Anchorman. You got to have an Anchorman, copy of Anchorman. Will Ferrell. Just, if you come over and have some margaritas. Yeah, watch some Anchorman. It certainly is worth a laugh. It's worth laughter and fun and joy. Joy, laughter, and fun. Vertigo. They say this is it right here. This is the masterpiece of Hitchcock, of Alfred Hitchcock. Vertigo. And if you watch this, he would be proud. Because it's good. Got a couple of horror. We got Green Mile. A whole collection of Stephen King. Dead Zone, Pet Sematary, Silver Bullet, Graveyard Shift. This might be a good one to watch during Halloween, late at night. If you get bored, do some Green Mile or something, It's good right here. This is the television version everyone talks about. It's got all these guys in it right here. This is the one you want to get if you like it. It's got the guy from Night Court and all that stuff. It's really, really good. It's the best It. The other It's are no good compared to that one. That's the It that made me want to be a writer, to be a novelist. All right, so we're going to look at... Just sit up. We're going to look at Bluetooth right here. I'm sorry, Blu-ray. But you can use a Bluetooth on Blu-ray. Oh, yeah, Apocalypse Now Blu-ray. I got 2 versions of Apocalypse Now. Life of Pi is great. It's Aang. Patriot, Mel Gibson. It's great. These were given to me by the church, by MacArthur Boulevard Baptist Church. They were getting rid of them. Robin Hood is great. Russell Crowe. And then, of course, Django Unchained. And then Zero Dark. Those are my Blu-rays. Blu-ray section. And then we got, let's say sci-fi last. Yeah, it's a children's story. Where the Wild Things Are. It's a children's story. You can see the photo on it. James Gandolfini's in it. Lemony Snicket's, a masterpiece. There he is. It's Jim Carrey and Lemony Snicket's. This is the Jim Carrey version. A series of unfortunate events. I worked with Jim Carrey, shoulder to shoulder, true story. Pan's Labyrinth. I wrote a review on this at work. When I was a telemarketer, we had our own newspaper for the telemarketing group for Warren Tech, and I wrote a whole movie review to Pan's Labyrinth. When this guy was not that big. He was big, but he was not that big. Guillermo. And this is his best right here. I have not seen Nightmare Alley yet, so that one's with Cooper. Lord of the Rings, 3-film collection. I got all of them. And we got Lord of the Rings here, which is a widescreen Return of the King. So just an isolated collection. And then 3-film collection. Tom Waits. Yes, see this if you're an Elliott Smith fan. I am. Heaven Adores You. It's about Elliott Smith and him gaining popularity and almost winning the Oscar and all that stuff for one of his songs. Hillsong United for worshiping, American Gospel, and then Jesus film. They're making another Jesus film called Chosen right now. All right, Dune. This is my all-time favorite, David Lynch. Just joking, David Lynch. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, David Lynch. I like it. I think this is probably better than the remake. I haven't seen the remake. I don't have a problem with Dune. But Lynch does, so all my Lynch films are digital. And my stepfather has all David Lynch films. So I don't know if he has Dune, but he probably does. Oh, no, get that out of comedy. There, okay. I do like Star Wars. This is New Hope. I am a Star Wars fan. And George Lucas. I don't really know George Lucas, but he seems like a pretty calm guy. Star Wars 2 is Attack of the Clones. We know the order, okay? We're going to just jump over to Interstellar. Was it Interspace? What does it say? It just says Inter... And then Interstellar. Yeah, Interstellar is about time travel. Matthew McConaughey gives a very emotional performance in that. Eli... the Book of Eli is the one and only Denzel Washington. He has the Bible memorized in it. You guys see it? And this is one of my favorite. Will Smith is I Am Legend. It's also a great sci-fi kind of, well, it's not sci-fi. It's like Alpha Man or Omega Man. Omega Man, he's like the only guy on Earth, but then he meets this other person. Alien is my favorite of the Alien series. It's the original. Sigourney Weaver. Great performance. Almost wanted to watch this again. It's Ridley Scott. See if we can find his name on it. These are hard to do. Sigourney Weaver. Yep. John Hurt was in it. He passed away too. Ridley Scott film. Yeah, John Hurt was in Alien. Avatar, I just had to get it. It's James Cameron. I don't know. I don't want to say a lot of things about Avatar. And we've got the one and only trilogy. It was Upside Down. The Dark Knight, a trilogy for Christopher Nolan fans. And I keep mine in mostly subjects. So that's why Christopher Nolan's over there and he's over here. So we're going to watch Birdman. All right. Let's go ahead and get everything ready here. All right. All right. So there's Birdman. We're going to go ahead and start it in R2. I got my salad right here. And here we go. 20th Century Fox. Watching Birdman. Another one, Michael Keaton, baby. Edward Norton. And that blonde-haired chick, Australia. I got too old. What was her name? Grew up, not weed. Her name, and did you get what you wanted from this life, even so? I think she was kind of hot. Nicole Kidman knows her. Naomi Watts. Hang on, okay, let me talk. There's a lot of good actors out there. There's a lot of movie stars, but most of them can't act. Excuse me. Most of them cannot act. Most movie stars, they just don't know how to act. Michael Keaton, he's more than a movie star. This man knows acting because he doesn't know it. You know what I mean? When he's in the performance, he's lost. It's like he doesn't know really anything. This is about the virtue of ignorance. It's about a rising actor or an actor that's already been famous that wants to revamp a role. But Keaton he's in the role. He's not acting. He's just really there. Real performance, just absolutely brilliant. That's what I mean. He doesn't know anything. He's not trying to show. He's just living the performance. He's not really trying to show it. He's not like being actory. It's just like you can't even tell. You cannot tell the difference between real life and what he's doing. It's just all freaking mixed in. Great performance. He really nailed it. He should have Best Actor on this one. Did he? I don't know. We'll have to think. We'll think about it. But Birdman, Edward Norton's in it. Cassavetes, he's in it. He talked to him right there just in the scene. Naomi Watts, it's just like, they're all like lost in it. It's like freaking great movie. Just great. Birdman, gotta watch it. Where's Kitty? I slammed the door earlier. I kind of felt bad. This is something. Kitty. Say something real quick. I'm sorry, Kitty. Are you okay in there? I got mad. Someone called me and they made me mad. Okay? You okay? You sure? Kitty? Are you okay? Alright. Let's go watch Birdman. Anyway, Birdman is kind of the myth of the actor. And it brings in like this Satanist kind of thing, if he's the devil or if he's really a person and he has like this magic powers and he's floating. I've heard that Michael Keaton, sorry about that. I heard he can float. He does this thing where he can like, you know, he gets into like a, what's it called? It gets real kind of Lynchian. Yoga position. It's called the lotus. He gets in the lotus position and he just floats up. He didn't care about what he looks like. He didn't care anything. It's just Michael Keaton. He's in the performance. No acting. Look at that. Look at his eyes. Look at everything. Michael Keaton's like my favorite. Stand-up comedian. Look at that. Look at that. Does that look like Michael Keaton? Looks like some kind of character he created. He's really good in this. He got nominated. We're gonna check it out. What year? Birdman, all the way. All right, so what we're dealing with is the Best Picture. It was the 87th Academy Award. Naruto got it for Best Picture, Birdman. It was an upset win. It's because of this guy right here, and Michael Keaton. Go see another movie he was in, Clean and Sober. He's probably one of my top 3 favorite actors. Marlon Brando, De Niro, Michael Keaton. He's right up there. He's everybody's favorite. He's just, you know, he just knows how to do it. He's got it under control. I'm telling you, Michael Keaton, he's got it under control. He knows what he's doing. He just does his thing. So Michael Keaton, what? He's like, he plays on this neurotic, and you're like, what are you talking about? It's Michael Keaton's energy. It's like Beetlejuice. You're like, man, Beetlejuice, man, little Beetlejuice, and Michael Keaton. I don't know what he's on. It's probably something hyper. Right here, he's like backstage. Most of the performance, just kind of, you know, running around like a crazy man. Edward Norton gets in there and tries to rip it up, and Naomi Watts is in there trying to, you know, do stuff. The unexpected virtue of ignorance, also known as Birdman, or Birdman, the unexpected virtue of ignorance. See, what we have to do as actors is we have to let go of the discretion and the judgment, just like you do. So it's a two-way thing. You let go of your judgment, and I let go of my judgment, and then we find humanity. But ignorance he's talking about that because of the actor being the fool kind of thing, and also representing the devil. In this one, he does. In Birdman, the unexpected virtue of ignorance. So that's Cassavetes, and I don't know how to say his name, but that's Keaton. His manager is the Cassavetes, the guy from, was it Hangover? Okay. There's guys in Las Vegas that dress up like him and stand on the sidewalk through the heat, through the cold, through through all of it. He's telling Michael Keaton here, also known as Birdman. He's got another name. This is a guy, that's an actor that's trying to put on Carver. That's a novelist. He's trying to revamp it onto stage and rebuild his career because he played a commercial Birdman character, almost kind of like Batman or something, comic strip kind of character. He's an actor. This guy right here is his manager that just transferred money into his account because they're doing a preview. Now, he just told him that there's people standing outside around the block, you know, to come in to see his performance. And even Martin Scorsese is showing up to the theater. And he wants to cancel because he's just sick of it. And that's what's going on, like right here. He's had enough. His daughter is there. His daughter is a grown woman that's kind of helping him manage him like a personal assistant. And one of the actors was kind of fake, so they fired him, and they got this guy, Edward Norton, who they're mad at because he's too wild. And he's like, what are you going to replace me with, Ryan Gosling? And it's coming from the voice of Naruto, the director. So he's making it kind of not really presentational. It's very real, but he's making a comment about theater. But he's also making a comment about the inner struggle of the shadow inside man, you know, the man's demon that's talking to him and is telling him, you know, you played Birdman, and are you really anything, that kind of thing. Or, it's like, and Keaton does it so well because he's also doing the narration of Birdman. It's a mythical character they played from Hollywood. And so New York hates Hollywood, and Hollywood doesn't really hate New York. It's a one-way hatred. New York does not care about Hollywood because they're sellouts and commercials, and they got the power to fly and go wherever they want. Like Adam the Woo, for an example. He can fly from Florida all the way to Hollywood. He can now. He can fly from Florida all the way to Hollywood, but he used to have a house in Orange County. I didn't live in Orange County. I lived in Long Beach, but Adam had his house in Santa Ana or in that area, and I did theater in Santa Ana. And he sold it. So he only has a base in Celebration, Florida now. So he had to transition out of California. Sort of Jordan Lyon, his friend. They both transitioned out of California. Thousands of people are leaving California daily because of financial problems. And California is the ultimate legalistic nightmare. And Hollywood. New York is the art place. So what the actor does, the movie star, he creates this mythic version of himself. He plays these Batman and Marvel roads and Marvel, however you say it, Marvel characters, and Batman and Birdman, right? He plays these Birdmen, as in Birdman. He plays these birds. And then he goes over to New York and leaves Hollywood. He goes all the way across the nation, lands in New York City on Broadway, so he can find a moment of truth. So he can find a moment of reality. Yet there's people that live and sleep theater in New York their whole life. They get trapped there. They never leave. Rainn Wilson was almost one of them. Rainn Wilson was there for 15 years eating noodles, starving, suffering, physically. Starving, physically, mentally suffering. And then finally got in the office and, was saved, you could say. And then got his family, his beloved, his wife, and everything that he needs so that he could, have and stability, life, and family. And finally was able to say, well, I don't need that life anymore. I was on The Office. I wasn't, but I became a star, and I have financial money. Whatever you call it. I know you have another name for it. I'm wealthy. I have financial success. There it is. Because the English majors are watching, right? I have financial success. I'm a millionaire. Now I can have my wife, And whether he would throw himself all the way back in New York, goes for any actor, throw himself all the way back to New York City on Broadway so he can find this little bit of truth from Carver, the writer, right? So that he can be this thing. And the New York critics all hate the Hollywood people, but he wants to put himself back in hell, or whatever you call New York City, so that I can prove myself and be this thing greater than what I already was, by being smaller, by leaving the Hollywood system, the commercialism with nothing but money. Orson Welles did kind of the opposite, because he had a radio show and went all the way to Hollywood and became, the greatest director of all times, and was on the talk shows. And then sometimes they never go back. Marlon Brando never went back. Marlon Brando left New York City, and then he grew fat eating McDonald's, having McDonald's delivered to him, and never went back to New York City. He never wanted to. He just wanted to sunbathe, look at ants under his sink, and eat McDonald's, and talk to people online. So we have Birdman showing us the struggle of this actor, and he wants to give up here. He can't even handle New York City. He can't even handle Broadway. But yet, he was a king in Hollywood. And where is he going to go now? Then there's this mystical aspect, this Greek-Roman aspect of what is the bird, man. Almost like the werewolf, or this evil Marvel character that's stuck in his head. It's pretty good.